Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. This is a general or collective reading, so parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. This is also a timely reading. If you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That might give you further clarity as to your situation now. We have the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. So the Wounded Warrior is talking about the element of fire. The element of fire is represented by the wand. The wands are made of wood because wood fuels fire, and this is about taking passionate action. The energy here is talking about someone that has managed to plant 8 wands. Like these represent actions that you take or that others have taken and have affected your life. And so this is talking about planting the seeds, and then they grow into these wands and they become your harvest. There's 10 available in the tarot, and we have 9 presented here. 8 are planted, and the ninth one is very close to his heart, and it's talking about only 1 more to go after this one. So you can see this person's been through it. They've had a lot going on, and it took a lot of effort to be able to plant those 8, and they only have 2 to go. But you can see they're a little wounded here. This is talking about someone who's determined to stay on their destined path, but it hasn't been the most easy. There's been a lot of challenges, but challenges often are wrapped up in, or possibilities are quite often wrapped up in challenges. And we have also the energy for the underlying energy for this reading from my oracle, Tales from the Vector, is this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light, is the Wheel of Fortune. So it's saying it's going to get easier. You might be wondering when. We can't exactly say that. Only God knows the timing. But this is about synchronicity. And in the oracle, this is my painting for the Wheel of Fortune. It's talking about, the past, the present, and the future all merging. This little statue here is actually, I was in Egypt in 2012. And I was at Hatshepsut's temple. I stayed not far from her actual temple. It was so hot that day that my cell phone, the alarm went off on it, just carrying it because it was starting to melt. And so this represents kind of a merging of the energy. The dragon in the background here is Ogopogo, which is a dragon that people have seen in the Okanagan Lake. And in the background, we have Hatshepsut's temple. And I have the crystal in the background. There is an arc crystal. When I became an emissary of the Resonance Project Foundation way back in 2011, Nissim was so gracious as to gift us each with one of these crystals of his, and she arrived right the day before I left for Egypt. So I took her on all my adventures. And so this is talking just about all that time and the Wheel of Fortune now turning. I've had a lot of adventures when when I was teaching seminars. So this energy here is talking about the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords energy is talking about, of the 4 queens, she's the coldest of them all, considered to be. It's because she's been there, done that. She has the t-shirt. This is talking about, having been through like this wounded warrior energy, having been through a lot. She doesn't want to repeat it. This is like, she's not in the mood for any bullshit. She does have her left hand out, so she's willing to receive the Wheel of Fortune moving forward in a more gentle way. And she's also the good fortune that brings. She also has her sword up in her right hand. So she's like, you better, I'm willing to converse with you, but you better come in correct, or off with your head. She longs for the days when that was a thing. And she has this little bird in the background there represents someone that is independent. And so this can talk about being in an energy, possibly the Queen and the King of Swords are the most likely to be divorced. When you put them together, they aren't looking at each other at all. And so the Queen of Swords, she has her head above the clouds. She has clarity in what direction she wants to go to in her life. And so she just doesn't want to put up with any more bullshit. And then we have the Sun coming out. And so the Sun is talking about a shift in the energy. Of course, with the Wheel of Fortune, we're talking about the same thing. So maybe it's time to go on a new adventure. The Sun is talking about being a child of God. This heavy banner represents destiny, your destined path. And this is you on this little pony, and look at totally fearless. No reins, no saddle, just totally happy. All the sunflowers in the background, they turn with the sun, and it's talking about soaking in the warmth of the sun. This is the happiest card in the deck. So when this card shows up, it says it's going to have a happy outcome, and it looks like it's an interesting reading here. I've started doing little meditations on the random readings before, so I can maybe get an idea of what they're about. You know, a little more clear vision on them, and I like it. It's let me know in the comment box below if you've noticed like the shift, if you're enjoying it. We have the Three of Swords here, or the Three of Wands here. This is talking about someone quite often that is standing on the precipice of change, and it's talking about distant horizon. Now, I know this looks like it could be sand because the sun is shining on this, so it's golden. But there's ships sailing by, and this person is thinking, I might just hop on one of them babies and go on an adventure. And this quite often can represent someone who was in a couple and now they are single, which makes sense if you have the divorce card here. And so this is a rebel with a cause now. This is saying someone who's passionate about what they're doing. The Knight of Wands would work for the King and the Queen in the court, and his main thing would be to, communication and transferring communication and information back and forth, traveling through the kingdoms to do so. Back in those days, that was the only way that they had long distance communication. He has a big red plume on the back of his hat here. This is representing his nature to be a little impulsive and possibly hot-headed. But he has learned to rein his temper and his mind, discipline his mind to take passionate action that is strong. And so the horse in tarot represents heartfelt energy and passion. The wand is also representing not just our passionate action, but because it's from a tree, it's representing the deep roots of our ancestors, as well as the offshoots in our descendants basically coming through. Now, the Knight of Wands loves adventure and wants to explore the world. You notice the pyramids in the background, so it's kind of I had a dream about Egypt. I had an amazing time in Egypt. I went in between, there was one revolution and they said it was safe. Finally, I had to cancel my first trip there. And then I went and I was teaching a seminar with Leroy Malouf, and I ended up another revolution started while we were there. We were treated so well in Egypt by the people there, and we were safe, got out safely, and then the shift hit the fan. But it was so much, I loved Egypt. It was an amazing thing. And so a lot of this Egyptian energy is coming in right now. And I'm very strange because I did have a dream about it last night. And so the Knight of Wands is talking about we're about some sort of information, communication coming in. This could be talking about an adventure. Maybe you're about to go on an adventure, or you're just having dreams about past adventures. That could be possible as well. This energy, maybe there's some sort of closure that you want in that energy. energy here is also talking about, you know, in the old days, as I said, the only way of being able to communicate long distance was to travel far and wide. But this communication, you don't have to expect a knight to show up at your door. This could definitely be a phone call, a text message. It could be an email. It could be something that arrives in the post, documents, papers. This could represent maybe even a walk down memory lane, you know, looking at photos and that. Maybe you're in the mood, maybe you're feeling a little bit nostalgic, that type of energy. Maybe you're planning to go on a holiday or another adventure, or there's something very new coming up in your life. And this energy can also represent someone could message you on many of the platforms in social media, or you could see an event posted and decide, you know what, I'm going to go to that event. And then you run into someone in person. This can also, you know, there's so many ways. It's a good idea to pay attention to what's happening at the top of the pyramid with the leaders of the countries. You can pick up a lot of information that way. It can be painful to watch that these days. There's so much wild shift happening on the planet right now. But it's really good to get an idea. Whatever's happening with the elites is definitely going to trickle down to everybody below. And although people sometimes don't believe it, what happens to us below does have an effect on everybody above. And we have here, we have the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is talking about possible adventure in marriage and commitments and partnerships. So this could be, maybe there's you could be the Knight of Wands, or you could be this Queen of Swords energy. And perhaps there's some information coming in about someone that feels passionate about being with you, or maybe you're passionate with them, or it's both. This is talking about the beginning of fulfillment. This could be, you know, a commitment in partnerships in business. It could also be a commitment making in of any kind, really. Maybe on a spiritual level, you make some sort of commitment, or you decide, I'm going to accomplish this, and you commit to it. This can also represent marriage, and this is kind of considered the official marriage card. So the rebel with a cause may want to approach the queen, but he's a little bit nervous maybe. She's still a little cranky, it looks like. And this is talking about this energy here of, you know, you basically, the best way to describe it, it's the beginning of fulfillment, but it's talking about how, you know, you have the down payment for your castle, but you're still going to have to make the mortgage payments. The question was popped. The answer is yes. And now you're working on the wedding, but then you have to put the energy into the actual relationship to keep it fulfilling and keep the promise of this energy. And we have judgment being called in by the Most High. It's sitting right on this energy here. So this is talking about, you know, judgment on the spiritual realm. The judgment on the spiritual realm that comes from God. It comes down to the earth, and we literally have ancestors climbing out of their boxes, cheering, "Woohoo! The trumpet's blowing. We're finally going to get justice." I wonder if this is justice for something that happened in Egypt, even, you know, in the history of Egypt. Hatshepsut, she was I think she was the only pharaoh that was female, and she just took the position until her brother was old enough to be able to be the pharaoh, because he was very young when the pharaoh passed on, and then he sabotaged her. So. And erased her from memory. That's why a lot of people don't know the story of Hatshepsut. Her temple was just absolutely amazing. But it was, like, as I said, very hot that day. When your cell phone is, I never had that happen before, where the alarm was going off that my cell phone was about to melt. It was hot. Yeah, so this energy, it could be, that could be having something to do with this as well. Something about feeling the heat, some judgment on, because the ancestors are literally climbing out of their box, and they are cheering though. They're excited because finally justice is going to be here. But I don't know, maybe it's a lot of my readings lately have really been talking about global energy, as well as the energy of individuals. So it could be something in history that wants to be corrected. This is, okay, so we do have here, now that you know what you know, you have conviction beyond a doubt. And that is talking about this energy here. It's like at some point when judgment was called on this, and this could have been, this could be the past, present, or future. At some point, this is what gave you the courage to go to higher ground, and you've decided, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm moving to higher ground, and I'm going to protect my heart and what is mine. And this is, we're talking here about the 7 of Swords, and this is the 9. So something happened between the 7th sword and the 9th sword. That's the energy, basically, where you went up on higher ground and really decided, leaning heavy, and it's showing protecting the heart here both times, and also something that's close to your heart, something that really matters to you. And you notice we have a boot on one foot and a shoe on the other. So this is talking about sometimes you could be straddled between two worlds here. This can talk about not that energy. Sometimes this can represent walking in someone else's shoes, or sometimes it can represent someone walking in your shoes. So there could be an energy here of some sort of energy of identity theft, or that type of energy, because we have this energy is talking about, now that you know what you know, you have conviction beyond a doubt that you're moving forward in this way. So this could be many things, but it's changed your position for that you are absolutely determined to complete this journey. It's close to your heart. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. We have, this is something that you, this represents, this could be talking about being on the stage, being a public figure. This can talk about someone who is in the public, or it could just be you have a platform on social media. A lot of people do. This energy is, we have 9 cups. This is talking about love. And in tarot, quite often the cups do represent romantic love, but they can just represent as well anyone that you love, or something that you love, and something you love to do or be. This energy is talking about someone who has been very successful, but they're leaking energy from, you can see that with the feet turned out in body language. This represents an energy of leaking energy from your masculine and your feminine energy. It can just be a lack of focus, but it's from the base chakra, which is about survival. So there could be something with this energy, having to go to higher ground and stand your ground, all of that energy. There could be something there. We don't know, are these cups in the past behind this person on the stage? Are they above the head, happening right now? Or is this about to happen in the near future? This person could be sitting behind here, but he looks like he's on a stage, and this energy on the bottom part, half of his body is a little bit weakened, but the top half, look at, we have this infinity symbol. So this is talking about infinite potential, to the power of infinity and beyond. And he's almost like a genie. So it's talking about, you do have the power, but you have to stay focused, because there's a lot of energy. Look at all this energy coming towards you. So this could be talking about, it doesn't necessarily, with this, it's talking about there's some energy coming towards you that is passionate, and it could be aggressive, or it could be love, or it could be all sorts of different things here. All right, and then we have a soulmate energy. So this is talking about meeting your soulmate. That definitely would have this energy here. This is saying, these two people have made an agreement on a soul level to connect at some point during this lifetime. This is talking about each of these people is complete in their masculine and feminine energy. Maybe this is an energy of needing that now, it would be very good to have that soulmate come in now, because you could really use the encouragement, if nothing else. This isn't saying about two people who need each other. This is saying each of them are very balanced in their masculine and their feminine energy. This is the Hermes symbol, and it's about healing. This is a very healing energy, and it's also a gift from the divine that you come together to empower each other to continue going on your journey, because this is conviction beyond a doubt that you're going to. And now here we are at the 9th. You've already got 9. You're about to plant this one, and you only have 1 to go. So 1 more action to take, and then maybe this is that action. So we have, but maybe it didn't work out. Maybe it didn't happen. So now maybe you're still trying to complete, because we don't have the 10 of Wands here as of yet. We don't have, in this particular reading, the harvest coming in. This is disappointment in love. This is talking, in romantic love, this can be talking about, if you've ever heard the saying, don't cry over spilt milk, it's because when you spill milk in the ground, you're not going to be able to recover it. It's something that, it's lost, and you have to accept that loss sometimes. So it could be perhaps this didn't happen and you've been at a loss since then, feeling like out of sorts or just really down. This is like feeling a lot of regret, a lot of remorse. There's 2 cups here that have wine in them, and then there's a 3rd cup here that has some sort of liquid that was poisonous to the relationship. So there's interference here with a third-party energy. And then we also have 2 cups standing. The best thing you can do here is continue to walk down that path, cross the bridge over troubled water, and get to your castle. You notice the castle in the background is half standing and it's half dilapidated. So this is going to require having a really strong attitude. Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? But this is about being grateful for what is left standing and deciding, okay, I'm going to appreciate that and I'm going to work with it. And maybe that's talking about then that brings in this energy of the soulmate. Maybe there was some sort of major disappointment before your soulmate came in, and now you're moving towards that. So we have the Queen who's cold, and this could be, this is quite often someone who's divorced, or something has happened. She's not in the mood for bullshit and having to really fight to stand her ground. She's on higher ground. She's protecting her heart. And this is being very passionate, absolutely determined to finish this journey. And the Wheel of Fortune is turning in her favor now because of it. We have, this could be a public figure or someone that is in the public eye in some way. Many, many people are these days. This can talk about, something that failed in a matter, but this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic love. This could be also about something you love to do or something you love to be. It could be an energy of other people that you love that maybe you feel have let you down in some way. There is judgment being called on this by the Most High. So there's going to be happy days again. Here is your soulmate. Perhaps you're going to meet your soulmate and end up getting in a committed relationship. And that's going to give you new passion to move forward on your journey and maybe go on another adventure. It sounds like fun. I mean, it sounds complicated, but we'll see. I'm going to clarify for those that want clarification. If you are leaving the reading here, thank you so much for your time and energy, your likes, your comments, shares, subscribes. I really, really appreciate them. It is helping me to build my channel. Let's see. We have the numbers on these cards are the numbers of the paintings. There's 64 of them that are listed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. I will put the numbers in the order they appear here so that you can look up the paintings if you're interested, if you want further clarity on this. We have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is basically talking about bringing the spiritual judgment from God down to the physical earth. So this is talking about traditional structure in, court systems of the land throughout the world. We all have, there's different laws in different countries, and this is talking about that energy. We have the All-Star energy. This is the third eye chakra. So this is talking about using your insight to be able to continue on this journey. It's sitting talking about, hey, you want to get back to this happy energy from being clearly this is about disappointment, having to deal with a lot of energy just to stand your ground. And like sometimes this can be identity theft and like just, or a theft of your, like just feeling like someone, I don't know, it's an energy of someone else walking in your shoes instead of you walking in them. We have the devil here, and this is part of the judgment. So when the devil shows up in this oracle, the devil is actually a beautiful crystal adorned dragon, because the devil's not going to tempt you with something that is ugly. The devil's going to tempt you with something pretty and light and beautiful, something you really want, something shiny. And the ugly part comes later. And so this is basically about temptation. When the devil shows up, I always cover it with the next card up, and then I can see what minion does the devil send in to do his dirty work, or does God cover it? What's this about? We have Sagittarius energy here. Look at this. So we have this energy. This is interesting because this is about expansion, and it's sitting right on this energy here. And I feel that this devil energy, whatever it is, has caused a contraction of energy instead of an expansion of energy. Perhaps you were meant to continue traveling and doing what you were doing, and you were somehow contraction, boom. You're done with that. Now you're going to start shrinking. Someone wanted you to shrink. And what's interesting here, when I want to point out, when I have the signs come in for the different readings, in general collective reading, I'm not talking about an individual person. I'm talking about the energy of the sign itself. And you know, Sagittarius is about going on world travel, adventures, expansion, and as opposed to contraction of energy. And I feel like something happened here and it stopped your journey. And I feel that it's interesting because in the sign of Sagittarius, or in the celestial energy of Sagittarius, like the constellation, there is a black hole that a lot of people consider to be the heart of the Milky Way. And so this is not just God's judgment here. This is cosmic judgment. This is coming from the universe and from God, putting things back in order after this closure of adventure happens. So this is a promise of new adventure coming in. And then we have the sun. So the sun is saying, you know, you're meant to be happy. This is like God saying, I've said it once and I'm going to say it again. You are going to be back in your natural energy here. And you are going to be moving forward. And this energy is Sagittarius energy as well. So the rebel with a cause. This is also the fiery horse energy for this year. On February 17th, we moved into the fiery horse energy in the Chinese New Year calendar. All right, and look at this is talking about the end of the cycle of where you are contracting and there's going to be expansion again. You may have been waiting like at least a decade for this to happen or more, because this is talking about he's leaning hard on this 9th wand and waiting for the 10th one to show up. And we don't have closure here with that 10th wand as of yet. But we do have the promise of it coming in, because look what this rebel with a cause is bringing this in. So this could be, you know, you could be the queen, and this rebel with a cause is bringing in the last wand finally to give you the passion to move forward and maybe explore the world some more. This is when the fool goes on his journey, he starts at the 0 point and he ends up at the world card. And look at judgment on judgment. And this is cosmic judgment. So this is an unfettered heart, ready to move forward with strength again and ready to be back on your journey. And then we have the magician. So this is an energetic upgrade. This is a really awesome reading. It's talking about, you know, the energy is shifting. You have the tools that you need to move forward. You just have to use them and know which tool to use at which time for which thing. It's talking about 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And Denial. What I don't know won't hurt me. Oh my goodness. And this is the Queen of Denial. This is from my, this is Hatshepsut's energy. Very interesting reading for me, because Hatshepsut, when I was at her temple, I had some pretty wild experiences there. At that time, there was very few people. There were not a lot of tourists. So it was like you could get into places that they wouldn't normally allow, and you could be there for hours, whereas before you'd be rushed through. Anyway, this is talking about maybe someone's journey moving forward and you're looking for adventure. This is the reading for you. All right. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. And I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now.